Have you ever wondered why the concept of God exists in our lives? Is it an absolute truth or simply a human invention created to explain the unexplained? In this video, we will explore an idea that might be shocking to some, but is worth considering. We'll discuss how God could, in fact, be a human invention, a product of time, place, and cultural evolution. Let's dive into this subject together. Throughout history, humans have faced fundamental questions about life, death, and the universe. These questions went beyond human comprehension, which led some to search for a higher power, or God, to explain them. But what if God isn't a fixed truth, but instead a human invention, created out of necessity during moments of uncertainty? Think about it. In ancient times, natural phenomena like lightning, thunder, and earthquakes were believed to be caused by angry gods or supernatural forces. But as science progressed, we started to discover scientific explanations for these events. And yet, the concept of God continued to persist in many cultures. Why? Because, in earlier times, when science was limited, people used the idea of God to answer what they couldn't understand. As societies evolved, we began to see that God wasn't just an explanation for natural phenomena, but also a tool for control. Rulers and religious leaders used the idea of God to solidify their power and enforce their laws. How could people oppose laws that were said to be the will of God? In this way, God became part of a system of control over the masses. No longer just a supernatural being, God became a mechanism for maintaining social and political order. But that's not all. If we look at the history of religions and their development over time, we see that the idea of God changes with time and place. At first, there were multiple gods representing natural forces. Later, monotheism emerged with the concept of a single God. These shifts raise an important question: was the idea of God changing in response to human cultural and social needs? Is God a human invention, evolving over time? And with all these questions, we come to an important point: what tangible evidence confirms the existence of God? Is there something we can see, measure, or experience to prove that a supernatural being is governing the universe? The truth is, most evidence for the existence of God remains in the realms of philosophy and spirituality, and doesn't extend to the realm of proof. As science and knowledge progress, the question of God's existence becomes even more complicated. In the end, could it be that God is merely a human invention, born from our desire to understand the universe and control our world? This question may seem strange to some, but it's worth considering. We must always ask ourselves, do we believe in God because we need Him in our lives, or is there truly something supernatural behind all of this?